The new iOS 26.6 is just around the corner, and this is the last big update to iOS 26 before we move on to the new iOS 27. Even though in numbers it looks like a big update, it doesn't have that many features or changes, but it's still a really important update, so I suggest everyone that installs this update on their device. And I will show you guys some really important things you need to know before you update your device to the new iOS 26.6. Now, before we get into all that, just want to ask you guys for a really quick favor. Most of you guys that watch my videos are currently not subscribed to the channel, so if you enjoy the videos and you want to see more of them, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel a lot. Now, first of all, talk about storage. Storage is really important, of course, when it comes to updating your device, and especially with these iOS 26 versions, all of them are really big in size. Like you can see right here, this is the RC of iOS 26.6, and it came in at around 8 gigabytes. Now, this won't be as big on your device if you're updating from iOS 26.5 or any other version of iOS 26, because this is the RC, which means that iOS gets completely reinstalled on the device. But if you're on any of the betas or the RC of iOS 26, it will be this big once it's out to the public. Now, of course, even if it's not this big, it will be at least like 2 to 3 gigabytes, so you will need quite a lot of storage to actually install this update on your device. Now, Apple is actually requiring quite a lot of storage. If this update comes in at around 2 to 3 gigabytes, you will need at least 8 to 10 gigabytes of free storage on your iPhone in order to install the update. So what you want to do is make sure that you have that storage free on your iPhone. You head on to the iPhone storage section here under the Settings app, under the General section, and you will have here a few suggestions of what you can do in case you don't have that free storage. You can of course review your photos, videos, and empty the recently deleted album. But if you just don't want to delete any photos or videos, or you maybe don't have enough free storage, there is something that you can do. Like you can see these apps right here, like in this case TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, they do take quite a lot of space. So if I go to Instagram, you can see the app itself is around 500 to 600 megabytes, while we have almost 2 gigabytes of data. Now, what I would do, just delete the app, install the update, and then once the update is completed, you can just come back and again install the app on your device. Next will be the backup. It is really important that you always back up your device before trying to update your device to a new iOS version. Now, updating iOS, probably everyone has done it a lot of times in their life, is actually not that hard at all. It's a very simple, very fast process. Couple of clicks, wait for like 5 to 10 minutes, and you have your device updated to the latest iOS version. So most likely nothing will go wrong. But just in case something goes wrong, you don't want to have to deal with that and maybe even lose your data or something like that. So just to be safe, make sure that you always have a backup of your device. You can do that, of course, through iCloud, or maybe just backup to your computer or to your Mac. As easy as that. In a couple of minutes, you will have your device backed up. And of course, if anything goes wrong, then you will have all your data. Now, as I said, updating is really simple. Everyone knows that it's simple to update your iOS device. But if you're on iOS 26.6 beta, then you will have two choices. If you have already updated to the RC, then you're good to go. You already have the latest update for iOS 26.6, so you no longer need to update your device, and actually you won't get an update if you have already installed the RC. Now, that of course is a very simple way to update. I suggest that everyone does that if you have the iOS 26.6 beta on your device. But a lot of people don't want to do that. They want to move to the public release. Now, in that case, you will need to be on one of the betas of iOS 26.6 and not the RC. If you're on one of the betas and you have the RC here ready for update, just go ahead and go to the beta updates and turn them off. In this case, it will remove the RC and then will show you the public release once it's out. But again, there's no reason to actually do that or wait for that. Just go ahead and update to the RC. It's the exact same version, and if anything changes under the public release, Apple will also release an RC2 for beta users. Another really important thing to know before you update to iOS 26.6 is that this update will actually prepare your device for the new iOS 27. Now, iOS 27 is coming out in around 2 months from now, a bit less, of course, around the middle of September. We will have the update released to the public. And once you update to iOS 27, it will start this process called optimizing Siri and search. Basically, we'll be able to use your device, but it's indexing so that it improves search and all that stuff with a new Siri. But iOS 26.6 will do that for you before you even update to iOS 27. So this is really important to know that if you install iOS 26.6, it will take a few days to complete this, and mine took quite a lot of time here on iOS 27. So you don't want to have to deal with that on iOS 27. You just go ahead and install iOS 26.6, and it will already have finish those processes once iOS 27 is out. So when you install iOS 27 on your device, it's just ready to go. All the new Siri features will be available for you to use, so it doesn't need to actually optimize search and Siri. When you update to iOS 27, iOS 26.6 will do the job for you. Now for the last one, release and should you update? Well, the release is happening most likely on the 27th. It might even be the 28th, but one of these dates should be the time that Apple releases iOS 26.6 to the public. Most likely it will be Monday, July the 27th. Should you update or not? Of course you should. Now iOS 26.6, as I said, doesn't bring a lot of new features and changes, but it will prepare your device for iOS 27. That's the main reason I believe you should install this update on your device. It will show you a pop-up when you have reached the blocked contacts limit, and also show you a pop-up if you get any malicious messages trying to scam you or just compromise your data and your privacy. Those are actually they look like small changes, but are actually really important. That's why I suggest that any iPhone user running iOS 26.6 should actually install iOS 26.6 on their devices. And of course, as far as devices go, any device on iOS 26 will also support the new iOS 26.6, and of course also the new iOS 27. That's why this update is here, to prepare your iPhone for iOS 27. So that's basically it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful. If you did, smash that like button, and of course subscribe for more videos like this, and I will see you guys on the next one.